Now if I type enable, it brings me right to privilege mode without asking for a password. Well, this may not be the behavior that I'm looking for because I may want some people to have access to user mode, so I could give them the user mode access password, and then others, administrators, I'd want to have access to privilege mode and config mode. I need to set up a password then to go from user mode to privilege mode. To do that, I can actually set up an encrypted password, and the encryption of the password is encrypted and stored in the config encrypted. And I'll show you this in a second. The problem with the encryption is it's pretty easy to break with a freely downloadable program. The nice part is that it doesn't put your password in clear text for everybody to see it. So let's take a look at how we set that up. So this time from global config mode, I type the command enable secret and then the password. I'm going to use Cisco here again, but like I said, in the production environment, you're going to want to choose a complex password here that isn't Cisco. Okay, great. So now that I have the enable secret set, let's first look at show run to see how that configured. And I'm just going to not worry about this log message here because I know I typed my command right. It just interrupted it in the middle. So I hit show run, and then here is up at the top of my config file, here is enable secret. So enable secret, except it doesn't have Cisco after it. It has all this gibberish. And this gibberish is actually the encrypted password that says Cisco. On our lines, the password is not encrypted. And in a later video, when we talk about network security and securing the router, more so in a much more complex way, we'll look at how we can encrypt these passwords on our lines as well, at least inside of the config. The big point here, like I said, is it keeps those passwords hidden more so than protected encrypted. The encryption is pretty easy to crack. It just keeps them hidden from plain sight. Now let's check to see that password took. So I'm going to hit exit, bring me back to pre-user mode. We press enter. I have to enter my password of Cisco to get to user mode. I'm at user mode now. I type enable. That brings me to a password this time. Outstanding. We hit Cisco, and now we are in the router. Our router now has basic password security on it. Very basic. The administrator over here on this end doing the config chose the most terrible password ever of Cisco, but we did it with good intention so that we can make sure that our lab is functional and accessible.